So this is DuPaul Street. This place got hit pretty hard over here. This is DuPont and Lombard Avenue. They're starting to make some progress cleaning up these lots. But as you can see, they'll do one lot here and then they'll do another lot across the street. Instead of just wiping out the whole block, they're just bouncing around from one lot to the next, which is, I don't know, I would think not the most efficient, but it is what it is. These houses used to be the most beautiful little homes. They really were. You can see the difference. That's what the neighborhood originally looked like. All of the houses, for the most part, I'm assuming they were built in like the 60s and 70s, you know. And then what would happen is you would get a property developer or an investment company, or just, you know, people with deep pockets. They would buy this land or that house, bulldoze it, tear it down, and then they would build something like this. Something way more modern. I mean, I wouldn't call it a mansion, but it's definitely a very luxurious house, you know? And obviously the way that it was built was pretty well, because it was able to withstand a really, really hot fire. Over there off in the distance, you have the American flag. It's beautiful. So up here, this is Swarthmore Avenue. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's it. This section looks like it got hit really hard. I haven't been over here yet. You know, you can see the way that they're cleaning up all this stuff. Instead of just doing 10 houses all in a row, clean up, clean up, clean up, or really the whole block, they're doing one here, they're doing one there. Doesn't really seem like an efficient way to do it, but I'm sure there's a reason why. Maybe some people are just opting out of the cleanup process, you know. How many of these people are going to be going to war with their insurance companies? You know for a fact that a lot of these people are going to get lowballed hard. The insurance companies are hoping that they just accept the check, sign a paper, and we'll call it good. You know, it's a really eerie feeling coming through these neighborhoods, working here, delivering sandbag, gravel, and all this stuff, you know. In the future, I'll be delivering rebar, concrete, plywood, 2x4s, all different types of building material. You got helicopters, you got police everywhere, you got dump trucks. You got the army, you got military guys here. It's a very unusual, awkward feeling. Look at that flag off in the distance. How beautiful. It's a really nice feeling to see that American flag waving in the wind amongst all of this rubble. Over here, there's a sign that says, "Do not drink the tap water." But there's other signs posted in other sections of the city that say the tap water is okay to drink. I'm not sure why that is, but better be on the safe side and just don't drink the tap water. You don't know what's in that. And the fact that they're posting signs that say, "Don't drink the tap water," not good. Not good at all. Because there are going to be people who drink the tap water, and the city's probably going to get sued when they get sick. And we already know this, the city and the state is basically insolvent, basically bankrupt. Trying to come up with new ways to collect tax revenue. It's disgusting. Instead of just allocating the funds that they have more appropriately, just take more of Cameron's paycheck. Take. All right, they're doing a lot of construction over there. I'm gonna go back this way. See, this property is for sale. You know, I heard on the news the other day, a realtor was saying land in the Pacific Palisades, depending on the location, obviously some locations or some lots of land are more desirable than others, but land in general in the Palisades is selling for anywhere between 10 to 30% less than what it was pre-fire. So that's not good. Look at that. Unbelievable. So I wanted to say thank you to all of the people who have been subscribing to my channel and commenting and showing all of your love and support and appreciation for the footage that I post on YouTube. You know, when I come in these areas, I realize that these are people's homes and dreams and everything in life that they worked hard for. So I try to be as courteous and respectful as I possibly can. So I don't go on their properties, and I'm not stealing, and I don't do that stuff, man. I stay in my lane, and I walk on the sidewalks, and I just film. You know, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to work. This is what I do for a living. You know, I drive building materials around Southern California and deliver them. So I'm going to be working in these neighborhoods for quite some time. And that's really the goal of this channel, is to just shed light and give people some perspective and insight on how bad it really is. And along the way, over the years, I'll be providing updates. On the rebuilding process and what has changed, and over the next 5 years, I'm sure there's going to be a change in population or demographics. You know, I'll be doing my best to film and document all of those types of things, the long-term impacts and effects of wildfires on communities, and in particular, communities like this, Pacific Palisades. What's going to happen to the bankruptcy rate, the foreclosure rate? What's going to happen to businesses, you know? What's going to happen to jobs, the economy? What are the effects of wildfires? And only time will really tell. I don't think that the future is very bright for the next 5 years. This is my personal opinion, but not for this community, at least. However, I suppose it just depends on your situation financially. If you are a multimillionaire and you like to focus or invest your money in land, this could be potentially the opportunity of a lifetime. You know, you might be able to get a deal on some really premium land. And apparently, you know, what I heard on the news, I haven't fact checked it or anything like that, but I'm just parroting what I've heard. Land in the Pacific Palisades is selling for 10 to 30% less than what it was pre-fire. And obviously that depends on the location. You've got ocean views, you've got non-ocean views, you got corner lots, like it all matters. Everything's relevant in real estate. The value of your home might go down just because you live on a corner with a stop sign on it, you know, and the headlights get shined into your windows at nighttime. You know, it all matters. Location. And now, you know, the big factor is going to be insurance. Nobody really knows what's going to happen with the insurance companies. You know, will these communities be insurable in the future? That is a huge question. And we already know that State Farm got the approval for a 22% rate increase. So apparently 1 million policyholders from State Farm are going to have their insurance premiums go up by, I don't know if it's just an overall 22% or if it'll fluctuate. Some people will get 8% increase. Some people will get 30% increase. I'm not really sure. But the fact that it even happened is pretty significant, because now really what that means is how many other insurance companies are going to request approval for at least a 22% rate increase on their current policyholders. And I'm sure Ricardo Laura will be forced into a corner and have to do it. Because how is that fair that State Farm gets to raise their prices by 22%, but Mercury or Chubb doesn't? So I'm sure we're going to see insurance premiums skyrocket. And that's just more downward pressure, really. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go the other way. So insurance rates going up is just more downward pressure on an already slowing down economy. You've got high interest rates. You've got increasing taxes in California. You know, you got a whole slew of problems. The whole city burned down. It's unbelievable. So we'll see what happens over the next 5 years, really, when you think about it. I guess all of this is to be determined, but there's a lot of downward pressure. And I think Los Angeles as a whole will be struggling tremendously as a result of these fires. You got higher interest rates, you got higher insurance premiums, you've got, you know, $1 billion deficit within Los Angeles County. You got thousands of government layoffs coming. You know, now they're talking about they want to do a mileage tax. Want to tax your miles. We got problems. Sorry about that. I just had to pause the video real quick. Yeah, we got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems and a lot of challenges to overcome in the future. You know, I know I can say things a bit repetitive, but like a what do they say? Like a broken typewriter or something, or a broken record. That's what they say. But it's true, and I can't really. I'm trying to put as much emphasis on the problem as I can. You know, you got higher taxes coming in California. They want a mileage tax. Now they want higher sales tax. You know, unemployment's going to go up. Bankruptcy rate's going to go up. You got a lot of problems. A lot. So the whole city was wiped out. Insurance premiums going up. Now you got tariffs. You got potential wars in the Middle East. You know, got a lot of problems. A lot. So we'll see what happens in the Pacific Palisades over these next couple of years. It'll be very interesting to see. Some of these houses were really spectacular. It's such a shame. What's up, guys? Good, how are you?
Yeah.
They were friendly. Wow. All right, guys, well, I think that's it for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one off and just say thank you to all of my subscribers, all the people who have been checking out my channel, commenting and liking and subscribing, and I really appreciate it. So I really can't thank you enough. I'm narrowly approaching 1,000 subscribers, and as you all may know, that's going to be a pretty significant milestone for anyone to reach. It's not as easy as it might sound to get 1,000 subscribers. So for that, I wanted to say thank you, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, I guess I'll talk to you guys later.